right. Hey, so I was gonna type this I was literally replying to Eve, and I was gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I remember," and I just got a remembrance. This has been happening more lately. It's like there'll be sometimes when I don't remember my dream, but then something random will trigger it. And I was talking to Eve, and I was like, literally typing. I remember seeing Laritz and Saxa in my dream, but I don't remember. Right, it's literally right there. Um, and I'll talk about it. It should be a short video. So I remember being mad at Laritz because Laritz is Laritz, and I remember calling him Loki because that's my theory. And I don't remember what he did, but I do remember there was a girl, and Saxa had picked. I'm only 2 episodes into Ragnarok. I'd be stressed as I watch that show. I'm stressed, and I'm like, um, but anyway, so I remember it was like Saxa was on a speedboat with some girl, and I forget what the girl had witnessed, but Saxa was like, "Oh, I've charged the water," and I'm watching the dream, so like it's a show, but like not on the TV. Stressed, and she's like, "See, like put your phone in it or whatever." I don't know if the girl did. I'm just like, "Girl, this water is charged. Don't let her push you off this boat because you might fry." And then there was like a hotel or something, and it's like there were clones of people. I think it was Steven from Steven Universe and Connie. I just remember seeing Steven. Eve, hey. I'm literally talking about I was like replying to you, and I was gonna be like, I had this dream. I saw Laritz and Saxa in a dream last night, but I don't remember what it was. And then it was like I started to remember these parts. I don't remember what Laritz was besides like just being Laritz. And I'm like, I don't like you. Saxa was talking trying to get some information from this one girl. They were on a speedboat. I've only watched 2 episodes of Ragnarok, by the way. Again. And she was trying to get information from this girl. I don't know if the girl gave it to her. In the dream, I'm like, don't give it to her. Don't say nothing. It looked like she was about to push her in the water and she was going to fry because the water was electrified. And then it was like there were these sort of like clones. And so the first ones left the building. And then when the second ones were going to leave the building, we were trying to like make sure that the staff didn't see that the same 2 people had literally just left. And there was something else about this area. I remember like I was waiting for my mom, or my mom had just come back or something. And it was this area that you could drive through, but it was kind of like imagine like a haunted house, but instead of it being a house, there's like a series of it's like a haunted neighborhood. And I remember like we were driving it after hours. Or we weren't driving it. It's like I had the thought, maybe we were, I don't know. And it's like, well, if you drive this after hours and you get lost, or if you get scared, then there's nobody like on call or no one on staff to help you, to help guide you because it's after hours. So it's like, drive at your own risk if you're doing it after hours. And then I remember there was like this one, it's like this haunted, it's like a state parky nature area place, but it's all outside. And so when you drive to the entrance, there's like a building there, and the building is a hotel as well, and they do stuff in that building. And so it was people who were coming out of that building. And then when the second ones were coming out, because for the first ones it was fine, right? But for the second ones, we wanted to make extra sure that no one from staff would see them. And I remember like the second dude, he was wearing a jacket. And I was like, no, like you gotta wear your jacket a different way because that's how the first one wore the jacket. The first one wore the jacket in the exact same fashion. And it looks weirder, I guess, if you wear the jacket in the same way that he wore the jacket. Um, and then I woke up. That's the part that I remember the most. I don't remember why I was in that sort of like dark, whatever neighborhood driving. I was like, I'm not trying to get lost out here. And I guess I watch horror movies now more. I have more of an appreciation for horror now than I did before, but I was like, I ain't trying to be scared and lost out here in the dark. Who knows when they're gonna come back? But yeah, anyway, that was the dream. I was like, I want to talk about it before I lose it, and that's it. I was like, I saw Loritz and Saxa, and the water was charged. The water was charged. There were clones. We were trying to hide them. And after hours, if you get lost or scared, then you're on your own. Because all of the staff. Oh, there was another part. So it's like we had escorted the first set out of the building, and then someone got in the car and they were moving the car closer to the entrance. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, you're changing it. And they're like, no, it's fine. And so they moved the car and they parked closer. And then they're like, if you park here, then like they actually unload your stuff and they take it up to your room. And I was like, what? I'm so stressed after this second season, Eve. I'm like, I gotta go slow. I have to pace myself. There's so much going on. I'm just like, I'm enjoying it, but there's just like, it's not Riverdale amounts of drama. Because on Riverdale drama is like constant scene after scene after scene. I've only seen like the first season of Riverdale, I think. And so it's not like that. It's interesting. I'm loving it. Uh, I was kind of sort of low key hoping for a miracle after the end of the first episode, but that didn't happen, which is fine. And then I saw the end of the second episode, and now I'm like, I just be a little stressed as I'm watching it because I'm like, what are they about to do? What's happening? But I am enjoying it. I'll probably watch another episode or two tonight. I watched it before I went to bed, so that's probably why Saxa and Laritz popped up in my dream. Um, I think I'm gonna have to leave that iced coffee alone, or drink like one cup at a time. Um, but yeah, they moved the car closer to the hotel or whatever. And they were like, "Oh, if you park here, then they actually like unload all your stuff and they take it to your room." And I was like, "Well, what if your room isn't like in a nice place? Like, so anybody who parks here like just gets that service and they take your bags wherever?" And then they were like, "Oh, I know this. That's interesting." They were like, "I know this because like Nick has a room here." And there's like, so when you get closer, there's like a little, it wasn't a placard, but it's like these outside mailboxes. And I was looking at the wrong name. And then they were like, it was the one above that. Now, what's interesting is the Nick that I had in my mind, the Nick that the person was talking about, when I read the mailbox, it was actually a different Nick. And there were like chocolates and like looked like dum dum pops or some kind of suckers, um, or blow pops in there. I was like, wow, like he's got a bunch of stuff in his mailbox. I was like, what is Nick out here doing? What is Nick doing? I didn't know Nick was out here. And I could tell like there was a piece of it. And I guess it's interesting that, you know, Saxa popped up because it was like I could tell that what Nick had in his mailbox, it was appreciation. And it is that sort of um it was that, like, back in the day, we were sustained by the sacrifices and rituals and prayers and beliefs of the humans who, put us in that position. Um, and so I could tell, I guess, that that's what those were in his mailbox. Um, yeah, and that's all I remember. So I'm gonna go, maybe back to sleep. I'm so tired still. Maybe not. There are some things that I could do. Maybe I'll just take it easy today. Maybe I'll just rest for 2 days and prepare myself for the solstice. Cause so I did go back and watch those readings again yesterday after I processed my emotions. I might go back and watch them again today just to prepare myself, right? But yeah, that was it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna talk about it. I haven't been recording my dreams lately. There's something One day there was something that kept bothering me as I was sleeping, and it was something about a certain date. I don't want to say June 22nd. I kind of do, but I don't. I don't think it was that date. And like, it's one of those things where I'll wake up fairly frequently, or I'll be like half asleep, and then I'll just be like, oh, like, since I'm remembering this every single time I like fade back into consciousness, then I'll remember it when I wake up, and then I don't. That was a few days ago. And then I think yesterday or earlier tonight when I went back to sleep, it's something that they kept showing me, or something that I kept seeing as I was like fading in and out of consciousness. And I feel like it had something to do with the moon, like revealing something or something like that. But I don't know. And it's funny because I told myself that like I'm gonna actually start using my little app again and not being lazy when I wake up and not recording it. And then I proceeded to like, but I wasn't even fully awake. So it's just, I guess it's just for me to start doing that again, which is why I did this. I talked about it instead of like typing it in my app. But excuse me. The thing that I like about typing it in the app is that I can go back to it. So thank you, E, for being here. Yeah, it made me laugh too at the end of that video. So you felt really busy in your sleep. Maybe you are. I don't know how I've been staying up a lot later recently. I mean, I haven't recorded a dream in a while, but um I don't think I have, at least. I don't think I've been too busy lately. Excuse me, which is nice cuz usually I'm always busy. March 26th is the last stream I recorded. Oof. And that's the one where the fairy queens sort of came in. March 26th. Was that a Tuesday? No, it's a Friday. It's right here. Why is that date sticking out to me? One second. Yeah, so on March 20th, oh, it's 11/11 Central. Was a child calling out to you? Oh, wow. Excuse me. March 20th was Saturday. I had that one twice in a week. One was a girl, the other one was a boy. Did you ever meet up with them or like see what they wanted or needed? I love that energy. Feels like a still developing masculine and feminine, maybe. On March 20th, I had the dream about the water park. Oh, that's yeast? Mm. I still don't know what that meant. So in this dream, what's this one? Oh, I remember that one. March 18th, 20th, and then 26th, the end of Pisces season, they were calling you mom. You about to have some more kids, Eve? Twins. That's interesting. I mean, it's probably just because I dream so vividly, and then sometimes they just like come back to me. But there are some dreams that I just like remember. I'm a Pisces. That's what I just say. I just say I'm a Pisces. You do have twins. Oh, snap. What? A boy and a girl. Have they started their journeys yet? Because you might be coming into a space where you sort of help them come into whatever is for them to come into. Or maybe there's some part of them that might be coming into a transition of some nature that it would really positively serve them to have you sort of be there for. Okay. Yeah, so maybe that's coming. Good luck. I mean, not in that sense, but that's really exciting if that's the case. They are somewhat open-minded though. Okay. Maybe you're going to be coming into a space where they're going to be maybe they're preparing you. They're preparing you to field questions and to do other stuff. Excuse me. It's funny because wasn't Reem talking about dream interpretation yesterday? I don't remember what sign it came out under, but I think so. I think that came out yesterday because I feel like I remember Danny talking about dreams. Maybe not. Was it Pisces? I know she talked about. I don't think she talked about interpretation for Pisces, but I remember her mentioning. I gotta watch that again. I was so triggered I didn't even remember it. I'm just. So I had a dream that I was told. No, that's the other dream. It's funny because I had this dream about the water park in between two flying dreams. Flying. Well, one was flight, and the other one was flying. I remember this flight dream. It was weird. It's like we were on a plane, and then all of a sudden, it's like I had a cockpit view. Amanda, hey, you're fine. You're fine. Um, and all of a sudden, it was like we were going through like a wormhole or something. Like I'm seeing like stars and constellations in the background, and it's like we're in space. I'm low key, kind of, sort of losing my mind. And then he was like, "Oh, it's a video game." It turned out to be like a video game or something, and it was like projecting onto the things on the plane. And I remember there were people on there who were on the flight who were kind of sort of freaking out. And so since they were freaking out, I was trying to maintain my composure by not freaking out. And I remember too, it's like something had happened while we were it's like maybe we had sort of come across this wormhole. And there were people on the flight who were like complaining about different stuff. And I'm like, hey, y'all need to like respect the staff, please, because there's a lot happening and they're taking care of it. Just sit down and shut up. We'll get there when we get there. I'm just kidding. I didn't go that far. Um, have you seen it, Amanda? I'm only 2 episodes in. I watched the first episode. I wasn't ready for it. I thought it was going to be cute and fun, like a coming of age story. Oh my gosh. Yes. So I've only watched 2 episodes. I think so when I was staying in I think it was when I was in Wisconsin actually, which is funny because, shout out to Rob. Hey, I know your name. Oh, because I heard LB say it. No, yeah, yeah, because you helped her. You were doing that mod thing. Dana. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. That's cheating. Hey, Dana. Um, yeah, so when we were in Wisconsin, I think it's when we were in Wisconsin. I had started it. I saw it. No. Yeah, no. Yes. Yes. Yes, it was because and what they said, like, don't log out of the Netflix account. So I was like, well, let me just open up Netflix and see what's on here. And then Ragnarok was there. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I started watching it. I got like up to the scene where he meets the old couple in front of the general store, and then I had to turn it off. And I was like, whoo, like this looks good. And so then when I came home, I watched that first episode. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I watched the second one last night. So, and then I saw Loritz and Saxa in a dream last night. Um, but yeah, so we were on that flight and things got all cosmic and weird and people were upset and grumbling. And I'm like, the staff is doing a really good job with handling this unprecedented circumstance as we traverse through space time. Sorry, you're not going to get where you were going to go, and that the flight is a little bumpy, that we're experiencing a little turbulence. Yeah, it's not so far it isn't what I was expecting either. I guess I was expecting for it to be a little bit more lighthearted and fun and like a coming of age story or something. um, but I am enjoying it as well. And I know Rob said that he binged through it. I think LB binged through it, Untitled Tarot, Rob's Tarot. Um, because I know, like, I started talking about it in one of her lives, and she was like, "Oh, I'll check it out." So yeah, now I'm behind. Everyone else has seen it. I've only seen 2 episodes, but I'm loving it so far. Uh, yeah. Well, also, other languages are starting to come through. Binging through it is the best one. I'm trying to emotionally pace myself, I guess. Not really. I just watched an episode and then I got tired, so I went to sleep. Uh, excuse me, but I think that's it. Excuse me. Yeah, you did say that. Let me type that in. I have no clue who that is. This is interesting. So it's this Heilung Lifa Kriegsgalder live, and in the thumbnail, there's a blindfolded person with antlers on the head, and that reminds me of the Nine of Wands, that person with the antlers who was standing in front of the tree. Ah. I'm gonna have to check this out. Oh, it means healing. Wow, okay. Excuse me. It's so interesting. I feel like those two runes are the three runes that Russ did. I feel like I'm already starting to like see the energy of those runes just like pop up. Like when when Reem said the thing about the two halves becoming whole. And I was like, oh my gosh, Russ did that. That was one of the runes. And then Amanda came in and she was like, Russ did that. That was one of the runes. I'm like, so see, like Russ is onto something. I remember like one day somebody was live and I was like, oh, we should summon Russell in here. Or somebody was like, we should summon Russell in here. So I started to like ping out into the ethers. I was like, Russell, come in here. Um, And I was like, Russell's doing that madman thing where he's dashing around, like nose deep in books, very like sage in a tower, sort of doing his thing. And then the next day, he's like, I've been working on this deck. But Russ is always doing something. Um, when I honestly, like, when I look at the runes, though, they sort of like decode as like stories. So like when I saw the rune with the circle and the line in front of it, it's like it's someone or something that is it stands in front of a portal. And then as he was talking about it, it came through as this energy of like it's like as you're going throughout your life, there's that nagging feeling or it's like it's the space of your intuition whenever you like notice that something is off or something is wrong but you don't really question it. And so the more you see or the more you experience, the more you're like, wait, this isn't right. That's not right. And then like that realization, like what it leads you to, and then you come into like a new space. Like that's what it sort of unfolded as for me. And but it was like it's a person that's like something like and they say something so small and it's like something isn't quite right here, is it? And then they like smirk at you and then you're like, okay, like weirdo, whatever. And then you go about your day and you're like, whoa, like yeah, like something is off. Just coming on this video and then you click back to Reem's live and was gobsmacked to hear say pretty much yeah. Wait, I need to go find your comment. Hold up, I'm gonna go searching for it right now. I know that we're not supposed to. I don't want to keep you. Um, and then with the second one, the second rune or the rune that he put up, it's the bridge energy that I was literally talking about it with Reem, and then I saw that card and I was like, that's the bridge. That's like when we are connected true to the truth of who we are, and when someone or something else is connected to the truth of who it is, then it's that connection that happens like it's the card of almost like oneness. That's almost like the divine within me sees and recognizes the divine within you, and then it brings these two things, these two like seemingly separate things, if I can get it. It's like that's the point where they connect. And then going back to the sad fish, which was the first rune he showed, it's like when we're not fully online within self, and so it's like we're partially online, and it's literally I'll just grab them because um it was literally this card. Oh, I just shuffled these. It's fine. So if you saw what I did earlier, later, Dana. Oh no! Oh snap! It's not this. Well, it's in this energy, but it's not that fully. It's oh, found that one. Look, it's the Dreamer of Swords. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Here it is. The Lord and the Lady. Oh, now the Lady of Swords is on the same side as the Lady of Pentacles, which is interesting. So, wait. Yeah, I did. So, I took a picture of it. Where's my phone? Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm in this space of, I don't want to be like TMI, but it feels like I'm in the space of like massive purging today. It's going to be purging and sleep. Oh my gosh. Oof. I gotta go. I might be back. I can't. That's how it would come to me. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good whatever whenever you see this, and I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. Sorry for the abrupt ending, but nature calls.